producer Robert, usually he stops us, but he's not here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's throwing me off a little bit. Yeah.
All right.
The voice
I didn't know how many shots I had in my gun there, but I like it.
No, yeah, you run out of ammo after a bit.
Add one more.
Yeah, you got to use those GTA cheat codes. You get that unlimited ammo.
All right.
The voice you guys are listening to, he has been on the podcast 2 times before this. He's actually one of my favorite guests ever. I think he's my favorite storytelling comedian out there. Comedian, author, Brandt Tobler. What's happening?
Yes. Thanks for having me back, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I've been looking forward to this all day. This is the world we live in now. My world revolves around podcasts, and I was like, as weird as it is, I was like, okay, I got something cool to do at 3 o'clock today, so I'm excited.
That makes you happy. Yeah, we usually do just one every week, but with quarantine and people being stuck at home, I was like, I'm going to try and put one out on Mondays too now, do a little double episode and just do guest ones. My New Year's resolution at the beginning of the year was to have one guest a month. And I was like, well, hell, I'm always bad about that. And I'll get to the end of the year and be like, fuck, I got to fit in like 18 guests, but never mind. And so we got quarantined. So the coronavirus makes me hit my New Year's resolution. How about that?
It's great, man. If I ever give any podcast advice, just stay consistent. That's the mistake I've made twice when I had the ball rolling and then I quit. And I know it's hard, but man, people ask me all the time, how do you do it? I'm like, the key is just keep doing it. If you ever stop, you lose it. Because people like you and me are putting out, I'm doing 3 or 4 a week now, but and my mindset is like, when they need it, I'm always going to be there. So, because there's bigger podcasts than me, and I totally get that because I listen to those podcasts. Same here. But if they, there's just once you become a podcast listener, it's like, to me, I listen 3 or 4 hours a day. So I always just try to have something every day or two for the people because I know all the big ones do 1 a week. So I listen to all my favorites early in the week, and then I try to put out more on the other days. But
I feel like all the good ones come out Monday, and then by Thursday, you're like, shit, what do I have?
Yeah, I've been putting out Sunday and Friday, Saturday, Sundays, which I've noticed nobody puts out anything. So I don't know if I don't have the hugest podcast in the world, but I see decent numbers. I just feel like, well, if they are looking for something, I'm at least there. But I don't know. During the pandemic, I don't know if more people are listening or less, or what do you think?
We've had more numbers. We've had an increase in numbers, and I noticed that early on. And I was like, well, if people are stuck at home, I might as well give them a little bit more, kind of like you were saying earlier. So we've had an increase. I have heard the opposite though, but I think those are probably from the bigger podcasts that have way more listeners than we do.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people listen at work. Yeah.
And if you're not going in.
Yeah. All right. My bad. I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. You're good.
You.
I like that. We're talking podcasts here on episode 354. You were on episode 36. I remember that one. You were one of the first couple of guests I got, and I struggled through trying to not suck on it. And then you were episode 176. I remember we talked about swimming. You still keeping up with the swimming?
That was when I was in Phoenix. No, I want to though. I want to. I'm trying to get back into it. I was, of course, right when this pandemic hit, I went and got a membership at the gym maybe 2 blocks away. I was going to start swimming and playing pickleball because I want to play pickleball.
Pickleball's nuts.
Yeah. So I started looking into it and I wanted to go, but now obviously I can't. So I'm hoping if we get back to normal, somewhat normal, I can at least swim. I would hope swimming be one of the first ones. But yeah, I really got into swimming. It was good for me, and not to be like a downer, but I guess today when we're recording this, I don't know when you're putting it out, but man, social media has just been awful today. And that was the one thing I really liked about the swimming is because I couldn't touch my phone even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I tell myself, hey man, stay off your phone, try to do stuff, but it's like a drug. It's the most addictive thing. So I think I was really productive swimming because I couldn't touch the stupid phone, and I would just go into my own headspace and swim back and forth. Plus it was a good workout. So hopefully I'll get back into it. Maybe one day.
Dude, that is a good point about swimming, but it would always feel like you'd be like, man, I'm probably I was watching on my watch, but I'd be like, I've definitely been doing it 30 minutes now. And it was just oh, you look down, it's not even been 10 minutes. I feel so tired.
Yeah. I used to go they had a 24-hour one when I was living in Phoenix. So I'd go at 1 a.m. and I'd bring my little speaker and just bump gangster rap music and tell somebody. Sometimes some people come in, I have to shut that shit off, but it was kind of like having my own pool. It was pretty cool, but I definitely was more productive, but it was just hard to commit to it once I got like a girlfriend and stuff going on. Now that my girlfriend wouldn't really believe I'm going swimming at 1 a.m. anymore. So I had to cut that out of my life. I don't think she'd be like, "Oh, really, Brandt? You're Mr. Swimmer now?"
All right, Michael Phelps. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
suspicious at all. So before we started recording, you were like, I gotta get a little bit of Mike and Ike out of my teeth here, and I was like, what is this, Halloween? And you showed me you have how many? You say you have 2 vending machines down there?
No, I bought 4 vending machines the other day on Facebook. They have like the Facebook garage sale, and so I don't have anything to do in the day. This guy put up four vending machines, like the ones you just spin and get the candy out of. And he was only charging $30 each. And I was like, man, I could just flip these, I'm sure. And I didn't have anything to do. So I was like, hey, I'll buy them. And then I bought them. And now I have one sitting here in my podcast studio. And then I gave one away the other day to a 5-year-old. One of my best friends, his daughter turned 5. So I got to be the ultimate hero showing up.
That's a great gift.
To a 5-year-old birthday party with a vending machine full of candy. And I told the parents it was a bank. I go, we're using it as a bank. It's not just save her money, but she was so excited, and she's like, she just couldn't fathom that it was hers. She's like, can this just stay here for like a day? I was like, it's yours. If you can put it in your room if you want. And the parents are like, well, no, we can't do that. But I'm like, no, this is your vending machine. You can charge your friends, you can make money, you can do whatever you want. So I still have 2 left. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I thought about trying to, the comic mindset is like do something funny with them and try to make content, but I just don't know what to do with them. But they're pretty cool. They're going to be, if anything, they're good gifts. I don't know if I'll sell them. I think I could sell them for like 100 people. Once I posted, people sent me offers, but maybe I'll sell them. I don't know, because I don't know if I'll ever get to do shows again. So maybe I'm a vending machine salesman in 2020.
Can you fill them with liquid? Fill them with liquid and use them as just like a
like hand sanitizer?
Yeah, or maybe hand sanitizer.
Yeah, my buddy was like, you could say there's thoughts and prayers in one. You could do. I was gonna. Then I got like, I got a little too creative because I'm not an artist. I wish I was like a real artist, but I was like, shit, if I just fill them up with like bullets and throw some paint on there, I could call it like an art. I could sell it for like $100,000 and just be like society. Yeah, just if I maybe that's what I should do is like fill one of the capsules with like bullets and then something else, and then maybe shoot it a couple times with bullets and and then I just blood. Put it on the street and charge, say this is incredible art by an incredible artist. My alias is Vitavu Jones.
How brave. I think
a good artist name. So maybe I'll sell it under Vitavu Jones for $700,000 because it's the kind of shit you see that you'd be like, someone bought that for that much money, and there's a million times in life I'm like, what are people doing? So now maybe
you just got to be that guy.
Yeah, I just got to be that guy.
Dude, okay, here's another one. You know how like in gyms sometimes they would have the like hand or the shampoo conditioner one or body wash? Can you fill it with body wash? Just put it in the bathroom right next to the tub. Whenever you're in there, you think all the space you save in there. You're living with your girl. I'm sure she takes up a lot of that shower room.
Got a lot of.
Who's got all that room to roam?
Well, what's going to happen with I was joking with my friends. So when I was like 18 or 19, I got arrested for trying to go in a bar with a fake ID. And then I didn't have any money. So we stole these vending machines. So I have the karma of like these vending machines. If I put them somewhere and try to make money from them, they would get stolen. And I totally deserve that. Because when I lived with like 4 people, and we would steal these vending machines. You can just pick them up and take them. And then we played this game. We'd get drunk and then we'd eat the candy. And then one of the ones had little bouncy balls in them. So we'd get all hyped up on candy and then get drunk. And then we'd play this game where everybody started with like 5 or 6 rubber bouncy balls. And then you would just shut off the lights. And then you would say go, and then you would just throw them in any direction. They'd bounce around. I mean, just the dumbest game. That's what we did in Wyoming. But we'd play that, just be welts, and people would be all hurting, black eyes, and you just eat candy and throw rubber balls and drink Mad Dog, and that's Wyoming life. But so I definitely have the karma of if I did try to make money off them, they would get stolen, and I totally deserve that.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah. Because we had them hidden in the garage. We had a party and the police came. And luckily, they didn't find them because we had broken them all up into pieces and we hid them in like this like underground thing in the garage. But if we probably would have gotten pretty big trouble if they would, because we stole like 3 or 4 of them. So in some weird way, I think I'm supposed to put these out and let somebody else steal them. And
what if those were the same?
If they're the same.
No, and somehow they just got there.
Those ones are demolished. The ones that we
maybe they've been refurbished.
Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe it's come full circle.
That resale vending machine market is a lot bigger than you think.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it now. I just need a TV show.
Yeah, I've been doing a bunch of you're just buying dumb shit basically while you're stuck at home. I've been bad about that. I bought a slide whistle the other day. That was cool.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it doesn't achieve anything.
I've been loving. I love this Facebook garage sale because it's just like a real garage sale. And I just get in there and I look at they have really expensive shoes that I always want that I can't afford, and then they just have random weird stuff. So then I just go buy it. If it's in my neighborhood, because I try to get out and be active to do something because I have nothing to do. So I usually try to walk to somebody's house and make a little porch pickup, and that's the height of my fun during this pandemic.
I'm going to get a thing right now. Yeah,
going to get a thing off someone's porch.
So we had talked about podcasts a little bit earlier, and you were doing I think 78 podcasts. I feel like
yeah.
Originally you had Brandt Tobler, the 20 or the 31 you had, and that used to be you would just talk. You'd ask the same 31 questions or you'd ask, I think was it 10 that you came up with your own, but you asked 31 questions.
It'd be 25 are the same each week, and then 5 for the guests that week, and then 1 from just the fans or the internet. So it was. I still do it. It's just been a little. At the start of the pandemic, it was great because I was able to get huge guests because everybody couldn't say no anymore. I'd be like, "Yo, can you do my podcast?" And they'd be like, "I guess I have to now." So I had
You feel like you trapped them?
Yeah, so
That's
couldn't.
What I'm doing.
They couldn't get out of it. So I've had, I had Brad Garrett, Mark Norman. Trying to think who else I had during during the pandemic. So, and then this week, I was supposed to have Tom Segura. Tom Segura said he'd do it. We just haven't nailed a time down. And then Jay Moore. So it's cool because it's a good way. It's a fun one for me because I get to ask all the questions, and then my guests love it because they just get to talk about themselves for an hour and a half. So it's a win-win. No one's ever needed it. So yeah, the 31 was the original. Then I do a weekly one with my girlfriend Shire. And then the most popular one I have now is called Craigslist Chaos.
But those are all under the 31 banner, right?
Yeah, they're all under the 31 and
Dead
Craigslist
to Us.
Yeah, and Dead to Us is with my girlfriend, and then Craigslist Chaos is everybody's favorite, where I just get on Craigslist and then I just I pick a city. Let's say I'd say, okay, I put in Austin, and then I just go to the search bar and put in "call me," and then anybody that's dumb enough to put their phone number on Craigslist, I just call them and start messing with them, try to buy turtles or try to get jobs or try to join the Illuminati or it's hookers and just crazy. What I love about it is it really is chaos. So that's everyone's favorite, I think, because you just never know where it's going to go. And then recently I released episode 12 today. Me and my buddy Andrew Slater, another funny comedian, we started a podcast called Stand Up Explained.
Dude,
we just talk about stand up.
That's such a good. I remember when you posted it, I was like, "This is a fucking great idea." I've only done mics twice, but it's the first episode is talking about going and doing an open mic, and it is getting scared and all that shit. It's everything. Yeah. It's funny how. I mean, obviously it's accurate because you guys did it, but it's just it's cool from somebody that's actually gone on and done it and is a professional at it to hear y'all's opinions on it. And then you got that how to deal with hecklers and all of that, and it's really entertaining. And I'm a comedy nerd, dude, and it's perfect for you always I've always wondered okay, when they get the light, what if they get somebody that goes on too late? What do you do? All the behind the scenes stuff, y'all are getting to it, and it makes me so happy listening to it. It's great.
Yeah,
quick episodes.
Yeah, thanks,
too.
Man. I think it's good for if you want to be a comic, but even if you're just a comedy fan, I think the episode that we have the most downloads on so far is the one just called "What Does Comedy Pay?" So we explain what it pays to do a comedy club, a theater, an arena, a college. So, you learn a lot about stand-up, but if you're thinking about doing stand-up, it's like a comedy class, but it's free. And, that's the thing we say, if you're going to be a comedian, you need every dollar that you have because it's not a business where you make a lot of money. So you should just listen to the podcast, and you can pretty much take a comedy class at your own pace and spend no money. So it's pretty cool. And as a comic, me and Andrew, Andrew's one of my best friends, so we love just talking comedy. So we can talk about comedy all day. So it's pretty cool.
It's great, man. It's really
Thank
good.
you.
I'm on what makes something hack. That's what my next one is.
Yeah, cool. Well, I appreciate you listening, man. Yeah, hopefully it helps. Because wait, how many times have you got on stage?
Twice.
Oh yeah, so this podcast is perfect for you. You should be. Are you itching to get back on stage?
Dude, I just don't think I don't know if I have the time. I just don't think I'm. I don't think I'm cut out for it, man. I appreciate the fuck out of everybody that does it, and it's one of those that's like I'm just gonna appreciate it from afar because I know I wouldn't be good enough at it.
Well, it's cool you did it. I mean, that's the thing. People always hit me up. I'm like, first of all, just do it. You have to just do it just to see. Like you said, if you like it, if you don't like it. I get so many people like, oh, I'm so funny, I think I'd be good. I was like, well, go do it. Then we can talk about stuff. Because I can't help people. Like I could talk to you about comedy because you've done it even twice. You can tell me what went right, what went wrong, what you were worried about, what, that's the thing I get the most frustrated with after shows. People are always like, oh, I want to be a comic. I want to do. I was like, well, just go do it. And then I can help you. They're always like, can you help me? I go, yeah, I can help you if you do it. I can't help you until you do it once. So it's cool that I just am glad that you did it, man. It's something I always tell people. If you're thinking about doing it, just at least do it once because at least you could say you did it.
I don't want to give away your material, but like one of the best things that you said, and I think you were talking to like your past self. If you could change something, it was like just say hey to the fucking new people. If you could tell if somebody's new, then you could kind of get into a pack. And like you were like, I just kind of sat there not doing anything, and then you didn't make the relationships, which then gets you to go do it. And I thought that was great advice that I wish I would. Yeah,
I was so nervous and scared. Stand-up's very cliquey, but we'll let you in. You just you do it. But no, that was the thing I wish I would have. That first 6 months, I would just come and everybody knew each other and everything. So it was just scary. But once you get over it, then, now comedians are my best friends in the world. And you'll always hear comedians talk about that. Like Chris Rock or somebody's at the Emmys or the Oscars or something. He's like, I just am drawn to the other comedian in the room. And that's the same thing. And that's what's crazy about comedy is that I've been able to hang out with the biggest comics in the world because we share that bond, which is just so crazy that to sit with Chappelle and have him talk to me like a peer. And I just don't think just because I shoot hoops doesn't mean I could sit and talk to LeBron James or something. It's weird how comedy has this unwritten rule of like, once you're in the fraternity, you're just in. So it's pretty cool.
So Dave Chappelle is he like the most famous person you've met?
He's comic
up there, like right up. Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably the most famous. I mean, I don't even know who would. I mean, I met Chris Rock one time. I've never met Seinfeld. I'm trying to just think of. But Chappelle's probably the biggest. I mean, he's the biggest comic, and he's the coolest. Just sweet dude. The first time I got to meet him, I was doing shows in Dayton, Ohio, and so as a comic, you have a door deal, so you get a little more money if you bring people to the, and you need that money. It was like a $200 bonus, and you just don't make a lot of money as a comic. So I was flying to Dayton, Ohio, and I was like, man, if I can get like 100 people a show, I'll get like a $200 bonus, which is a lot to a comic. Mm-hmm. And the very first night was, I walk in and there's 4 dudes sitting in the front row. That's it. 4 gay guys. Cause, Ohio State was playing Alabama in football. So I immediately knew, oh shit, no one's coming to the show. There's no way I'm going to get my bonus. And then, so later that night I text somebody I know that works with Dave, because Dave has a house right outside of Dayton, Ohio. And I text her as a joke. I was like, hey, if you know any comics in town that want to come by, I'd appreciate it. Just kind of goofing around. She wrote back like 10 minutes later. She's like, Dave wants to know where you're at. And I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this dumb thing worked. And then the next night he didn't come to the show, but I got to meet him afterwards. And it was crazy because they brought me over to him. And he turns around and he's like, oh, you must be Sarah's guy. I'm Dave Chappelle. Like what's crazy in life, I've met a lot of famous people, but it blows my mind when they like introduce themselves. Like, I'm like, I know who. I'm trying not to drool on your shoes. I know you're Dave Chappelle, but it was a really cool night, man. He just sat and talked to me about shows and clubs that he's done, that I've done. And it was, I just try to be in the moment and enjoy talking to him without just being like, holy shit, man, I'm sitting here because I was sitting with, so he took the party into this back room and then we were sitting at a table by ourselves talking. And I heard Jay-Z talk about this one time. Jay-Z said, when you're famous, it's like you're a zoo animal and you're just doing your thing and you look up and everybody's just watching you. And I remember sitting there and I'm talking to Dave, and I look over and there's a crowd of like 20 people in this back room of a bar, and none of them are talking to each other. They're just watching me talk to Dave. And I was like, this is next level kind of fame, man. But he couldn't have been a cooler dude. And then he comes here a lot to Denver to Comedy Works and does shows. And after the shows, he takes us all out, and he's what I say it all the time about comedy. They always say you don't want to meet your heroes, but with him, with all comics, the bigger the comic I met, the cooler they are. So it's pretty cool.
Have you ever met anybody that, like, has there been one that you've met that just like, you don't have to name names, but it was just a fucking dick?
Yeah. I mean, there's some that were like, no one's really like people you wouldn't know were dicks. Like the guys that didn't make it, like in that bitter, they get like bitter or dicks. But I mean, I would say their name, but you wouldn't even know who they are. The one time I got upset was Chris Tucker came to the club, and he was just such like I'm big on treating the staff good, and he just wasn't I get it if you don't want to talk to fans and stuff, but between shows, like I was at the bar with like the two bartenders, and he would just walk by to get to his private bathroom, and I just was so disappointed that he couldn't just say like hello or what's up. And he had security. You would have thought he was Chappelle, because at the time, I mean, Chris Tucker's not that famous anymore, not like Chappelle, but he had all this security, and he had to have a cop walk him outside and all this shit. And I was just like, and then on stage, he was like, I don't know why people always want pictures with famous people and all this. And then I went to his Instagram, and all his Instagram is him taking pictures with the most famous people he met. So I was like, you're so full of shit, dude. You can't have an Instagram of you with famous people, but then be on stage like, I don't know why people, have to take a picture. I was just like, so I got mad at him, and I got drunk, and I tweeted at him like, why are you an asshole to the staff, And then the staff's like, yo, you need to take that down. And I was like, man, fuck this dude. And then the staff was like, you got to take that down, or you can get in trouble with the owner. So then luckily I love the staff at Comedy Works so much I listened to them. But I was trying to defend their honor, and then I almost got myself in big trouble. So that was the only one and it just sucked because I'd met Chris Tucker a long time ago too. At the height of Chris Tucker mania, like Rush Hour and stuff, I was living in Vegas, and after the BET Awards, everybody went across the street to Bellagio, and I was before I was a comedian or anything, and I just wanted to meet Chris Tucker. And then we waited and waited. We saw Jay-Z, we saw like Boys to Men, all these people were cool. But then at the end of the night, it was just Chris Tucker and Jermaine Dupri playing blackjack at this table at like 5:30 in the morning. We waited this whole time watching Chris Tucker. And then he got up. We didn't bother him anything. Then when he got up, we're like, hey, man, can we just take one picture? And it was just me and my cousin. And then it was like those two and like two girls. And Jermaine Dupri's like, yeah, for sure. And Chris Tucker's like, nah, man, I'm good. And I was just like, oh, come on, man. You've seen us. We probably sat and watched him for like 2 hours just waiting for the moment to politely ask. So I was like, what a dick. I mean, I get it. Some people, they don't want to take pictures, but that I had a sour taste in my mouth anyway. I was like, come on, man. Because I think I just see so many comics are so good to their fans. It's like, because we all know without fans, you'd be nothing. So when people don't treat their fans good, but you never know. I try to be more fair about it because you never know what people are going through and stuff. But yeah, Chris Tucker, he wasn't a dick, but he just disappointed me with the way he treated the staff and his fans, but whatever.
I saw Michael Che one time when he was in town, and I was walking by the venue, and he was walking into it, and it was before the show because we were gonna go next door to get drinks, and I was like, oh, it's fucking Michael Che, he's wearing his Yankees hat, and I was like, should I ask for a picture? And he didn't have a look on his face like he was down for a picture or whatever. I don't know. I just read it, I guess, right? And I was just like, oh, hey, give him the little head bop, and then he gave one back, and then like later on, like one of the first things he says, like, man, don't you like, y'all don't ever have to really deal with this, but sometimes when people just want to take a picture with you, and like, I know that it's me being an asshole to them, but like, he was basically talking about how he feels like an asshole for not doing it, but like, sometimes you don't fucking feel like taking pictures with people. And I was like, I am so glad I wasn't that guy that he's talking about.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, you never know. Like, he's probably, if he's walking in the venue, he's probably thinking about his set or what he's going to do. And sometimes people forget that, that's someone walking into work. If someone else is walking into work, you wouldn't, but I bet he would have taken a picture with you.
He probably would have, but then he would have done that bit, and I would have been like, I'm that guy he's talking about. I would have thought he was talking about me, and I'm like, fuck, he hates me.
Yeah, it just takes one. I think, sometimes you just have to remember celebrities and people with fame have bad days, and
I
try
get
to
you.
be more fair about it, because there's been times when people disappointed me, and then And then once I became friends with celebrities, I was like, first of all, half the famous people I know are the most insecure, fucked up people in the world. I had no idea all the crazy shit that was going through their head until I became like friends with them. I was like, oh God, the last thing they need to worry about is taking a picture. I don't want them to jump off this balcony. You know, it's like, I think people just forget, but I've never heard anything bad about Michael Che.
Oh, no, I mean, he wasn't a dick or anything.
Yeah, not that he was
It
bad,
just
but
like,
I bet he'd have just been like, yeah, I got you. Or he would have been like, you know, the other one that crazy got
he was
me.
kind of trapped. Like he couldn't have just. I don't think he could have just ducked out of it because it was really just us. So it's like he would. I feel like he would have just been like, yeah, all right, whatever. But then he was like, fuck that guy.
No, I had one like that too. The craziest one was I ran into Dennis Rodman like around the corner at a strip club, and everybody at the time had their crazy Rodman stories. And Rodman, it wasn't at the height of Rodman mania, but it was afterwards. But everyone in the world I knew had a picture with Rodman, and because I lived in Vegas that whole time. And I was like, hey, DR, can I just get a picture real quick? And he's like, nah. And I was like, I wasn't mad, but I was just shocked that he didn't want to take it. But maybe, I'm sure one day I'll see him again.
Rob Schneider wouldn't take a picture with me one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, he was awesome during the interview. We had him on the morning show I'm on, and he took. Like, we always do a group picture, but then like sometimes like I was like, I kind of want one for like my stuff, just to be like, hey, it's me and Rob Schneider. This is cool. And he was the only person that were like, we're gonna take a group one. And I was like,
really?
Okay, all right. Like he didn't say fuck you.
I've got to open for him.
It was also early.
I've got to open for him a couple times, but he's lectured me after the show both times, which they weren't bad lectures, but they were just like, sometimes when you get lectures by famous people, it's like, yeah, what you're saying works for you because you're famous. Like I think he really took the time to really try to help me. But he's like, well, when I open for Seinfeld or when I open for Chris Rock, I dress up and I do this and that. I was like, I'm making $50 opening for you. I don't, you understand? I make $50 a show. I don't have dress up money. So a little of it, sometimes I want to say, man. And then he was really worried about me being dirty in front of him, which is like my pet peeve because once again, he's probably making $5,000 a show. I'm making $50 a show. Just fucking, it doesn't matter what I say. Just do your job. You know, like I don't think a headliner should ever complain about what happens in front of him because, you know, and I wasn't doing anything super dirty. The first time I worked with him, he brought a female opener who's filthy. And then I did 10 minutes up front. And then he said something about my material. I was like, you know, your feature is like filthy. But it's been a weird dynamic with Rob that he wants you to work clean in front of him, but he doesn't say it enough up front. He just likes to lecture me about it afterwards. But he's pretty cool, dude. But you know what? I could imagine, though, not wanting to take pictures in those morning.
Dude, and I get it. Like a lot of times,
radio.
like they're going from station to station. We have a 6-station cluster in our building, and so like he's got to go down to the sports station down the hall, and he's probably already been on the rap station also. But like he was just going, yeah, sure, whatever.
Wait, who's been the coolest that came in?
Tom Green. 100%. And like I nerded out over Tom Green just because like I watched the Tom Green show growing up. I wasn't allowed to, but I'd sneak it on at night when my parents were when I'd have to go to bed and all that. And I remember he used to always like dunk his head underwater and he could hold his breath longer than any human being I've ever seen. It wasn't like Chris Angel, but I just remember being like, dude, I'm such a big fan. I tried to not nerd out in front of him, and the host of my show that I'm on was like, oh, you know, Alex is like your biggest fanboy ever. He was like, well, hello, son. And I was like, oh my God. But he was awesome.
I've got open for him a couple of times. He's really cool, just down to earth. And you forget at one point he was a huge celebrity.
Huge. I mean, like he was like MTV. He was MTV.
Drew Barrymore, and he was like he was when he comes through Denver, he still has a ton of super fans, and it's cool to see him. But yeah, he's like I said, these guys are all so cool, man. It's so rare that you don't. You know, but it's you always wonder. You're like, oh, is this guy going to be? You know, you're like Tom Green. Is he going to be a dick? But he couldn't have been cooler. So I love to hear these stories that comics are cool.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like again, like Rob Schneider, like and like you were saying with Michael Che and all that stuff. Like anybody could just be having a bad day, and especially when you don't like, because we're always up. Like I get up at 3:30 every morning, so we're all like, okay, I'm used to this. And then somebody else comes in, and like when we have like UFC fighters and stuff come in, they're all like, unless they've already gotten ready to go training or whatever, like they're not ready to do it. A lot of like the bands that'll come in are just kind of like, this is the first place we're here.
Yeah, I have to do morning radio sometimes when I'm on the road, but I always say if I got big enough, that'd be the first thing I canceled. you know, like I would say if I was selling tickets where I was selling out before I got to town,
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, I'd tell my manager, hey, I'm not doing morning radio. Cause
Well, why
I
do you
like,
need to at that point?
yeah, cause I don't know how much it matters. I don't know how much tickets are sold. You know, what I see, all our tickets are sold through podcasts. People that have podcasts sell more tickets. You
That's a
know,
good point.
it's a podcast world. I thought radio was going to die, but it's still doing good. But
Keep
I
my
just don't know
fingers
how much
crossed.
yeah, I don't know how much they draw from doing that morning
We
radio.
actually do pretty good with like moving like ticket sales. Like Craig Gass, do you know? I don't know if you know who
Yeah,
Craig
yeah,
Gass is. Every
yeah.
time he comes into town, he'll comes on and he'll hang out on the show for like two
But and
hours.
he's good radio guy. Some guys are good
He's a great
radio.
radio guy.
Yeah, he's a good radio guy, but he's still not. He needs the radio. Like I would need the radio. I need to be a good radio guy because I need you guys. But like you said, if I was famous, like Caliendo, I'm always surprised, but I think Frank Caliendo just loves to do the radio. But that dude sells out all the time, but he never says no. I mean, I guess if you think about it, it's just a good time to make more fans. But I just, man, if I go hard at night, when I those times when I'm like, all right, we'll be at the hotel at 6:30 to take you to morning radio. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be so bad because I don't want to
Yeah.
be here.
Bert Kreischer, if he didn't like it, he fucking pretended like he did.
He loves
because
it.
He's just like the happy. Like I don't know. I've never I don't know him personally, but like I've never seen him not happy, and he always just seems like he's smiling, giggling, being like the same guy you see on TV.
He's great at. Well, he's the same way, and like some guys are just.
He was awesome.
Bert's great. Bert knows the value of it, and you know, honestly, if we ever go back on the road, I could learn a lot from Bert and those guys of just trying to crush that morning radio because that's how you build fans for sure.
We do. I know like a lot of comedians hate doing the morning radio just because you get the hacky, like, well, tell us a joke.
Yeah.
And we try as hard as we can to not be how'd you get into comedy? So tell me what influences do you have? We try our hardest to not be those guys. So if you ever come by Houston, Rod Ryan show, come check it out, man.
Yeah. Makes a huge difference, honestly, because it's if you just put me in the motion where I'm just going through the motions, then I hate it. I love it when I get asked random stuff like, man, what? I'm like, oh, all right, we're going to do a real interview. You're really trying to learn about me. This isn't a job for both of us. You know,
you're not looking at anybody's Wikipedia. It doesn't just have your website pulled up.
Yeah. You're not butchering my Wikipedia. You're actually like we're trying to make some actual content here. So that's cool though.
So like, I remember, was it 2-3 years ago? You were on Barstool Idol. I'm a huge Barstool guy. And I was very upset. I was very upset that you did not win because you with fucking Dave Portnoy's dad fucked you, man.
Yeah. Well,
Mr.
you know, I survived that.
Didn't get it, but like he started that whole spiral. I feel like, and it was like because you said like I think you were like I was a gambler, sports, comedy, like that's everything. Barstool was like sold, done. He just won, and then I don't know. I was very upset, but like, how did you how'd you get into that, man?
I thought I was going to win for sure. I literally broke up the relationship I was in at the time. We like conceded we were breaking up because I was like, I'm going to win this Barstool job. I'm perfect for Barstool and I'm going to move to New York City. So they just have a contest and someone told me, you know, to submit. So then I submitted and I made it to like the last 10 finalists. So we flew out there. If you guys
don't know, if you win, you work for Barstool.
You get a job.
Have a Barstool.
So I was like, I made it to the final 10. So I had to fly out there to do the live stuff. And then usually they have Big Cat and like Portnoy and everybody, which is right in my wheelhouse. But for that day, they had his dad and uncle. And his dad and uncle are just like said no to me. And I was like, oh my God. Because I thought I was not only going to make it, I thought I was going to win. I was planning on winning Barstool.
You should have.
And then they cut me. And then on the way out, like Big Cat it wasn't Big Cat, it was Francis, and people grabbed me and like, dude, hold on, you might not be cut from the show. And then Portnoy it's never happened before, overrode the judges and brought me back. And then I came back and then it just didn't fit my skill set. We didn't get a show during the Barstool Idol. I think I would have been great with them. But it's a reality TV show. First of all, it was one of the hardest things I ever did because it was reality. They were filming us the whole time for like 3 days. I have a
just 24/7, right?
A much different respect for reality TV that everyone says is stupid and shit. When the camera's on you the whole time, fucking draining. When I lost, I would have thought I'd have been crushed. I I thanked Dave and thanked Big Cat, and I was so happy to go home. I just remember being like, because it was a competition, so I couldn't sleep at night, and it was crazy, and it just wasn't. Obviously, if I could do it again, I'd do stuff different, but I didn't know going in how to do it. And then the guys that won, you know, like Marty Mush is crushing it, and I can't remember
Did Mantis win yours?
And Mantis is great. They both do great content, but Mantis was built for that because he could do funny, weird shit. Like one of the things they had me just go do weird. I don't do just like weird shit.
It was all like impromptu shit. Like,
yeah.
Go find a way to sell 30 shirts or whatever it is.
It was like do hot dogs and drink beer. And then one time I was like, I'm built for like content, like stories and stuff. And then they put me on KFC radio, but I was drunk because it was in the middle of telling you were supposed to eat a hot dog and drink a beer every inning of a baseball game. So at like the ninth inning, I go in there wasted. I told stories on there, but it was a crazy cool opportunity. Portnoy was cool. I know a lot of people think he was a dick. He couldn't have been nicer to me. Everybody at Barstool couldn't have been sweeter and nice. I mean, they ramp it up because it's a reality show, so they act like they were dicks to us. So even if they did something for the cameras, once the cameras were off, they were really like sweet and cool. It was a cool opportunity, and you know, it's something now I see Barstool crushing it. I mean, Portnoy is the king. I love everything he does. So part of me wishes I would have got it, but then part of me, I mean, I'm so happy here in Denver, and I have an amazing girlfriend, and I'm 42. I want to get married. I want to have kids. So I think it just wasn't meant to be at this point in my life. If I was 30 or, you know, in my late 20s, I would have crushed it. And I think I would have been a good fit for him. I think I would have found a podcast. One of my podcasts in there would have worked. And I think I could have been a good fit, but I never dwell on it in a weird way. It was an opportunity of a lifetime. It would have changed my life 100%. But it was cool that when I lost, I lost. I've never thought twice about. I've never, for such a crushing something I was planning on winning, I thought I'd be crushed when I lost, and when I lost, I was just like, man, that was some motherfucker, and I can't wait to go home. So it was crazy, but it's a cool. They're doing shit right over there. I love everything they're doing.
Yeah, man. That's like Mike. We always on our show we're like, okay, well, we got to quit talking about Barstool because we're not Barstool, so we should talk about talking about them. But
you should. There's nothing wrong with trying to emulate what they're doing. I love what they're doing, man. I think they're making some of the best content, and I was as a Barstool fan, it was crazy just to be in Dave's office and to be at headquarters, the old headquarters, and see like Big Cat and PFT, and shit was just crazy, man. It was a really cool experience, and I think it just wasn't meant to be, but I feel lucky that I got to do it. And you know, the good thing is Portnoy was cool in the end. He's like, if you have something, you know, bring it to me. You can always pitch. I do have that in my back pocket where if I came up with something or something happened, I have at least a foot in the door. So I'm thankful for that, because that's a tough door to get in. Now it's a door everybody wants to get in. So maybe down the road, you know, because I don't know, Barstool's not big in Denver like they should be. We have all 4 sports teams, you know, with the legal weed and mushrooms, and they call it member because there's so many dudes here. Like, I think there's a gap here in Barstool that could just take them to a whole nother level, but I guess I would have to pitch
Barstool,
that. But
Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, that's what I was going to pitch, Rocky Mountain Barstool or something like that. I think it's still there, but I mean, they're crushing so hard they don't need it. I'd have to really, you know, and that's what Big Cat told me on the way out, because that was right when they were really starting to do shit with Chicago. He's like, get your numbers, get your shit together. And then I pitched the 31 to him, and then I never heard back. So who knows? But it was cool. It was a cool experience. I got just
like on my wall. I don't know anybody ever from Barstool, so like that was like I might know a guy that could work for Barstool, which is fucking nuts, and then I would have bugged the fuck out of you.
For like 3 days I was there, but
that's cool though.
You know what? They're like comedians. If they're around or if you reach out to them, they were all super cool, man. I think people are always waiting for me to say something bad about Barstool, and I shouldn't say I wish I could, but I really can't, man. They treated us pretty good.
There's no really middle ground for Barstool, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's like you either love Barstool Sports or you absolutely are repulsed by it and think that everything they do is the worst thing ever.
Well, I felt that definitely
You can't beat him ever.
Yeah, because I was trying to win the contest, so I reached out to people like Bert to like retweet me and stuff, and then I reached out to some women that I know that are, you know, big sports reporters or in the sports world, and they're like, hey, you know, we want to see you do good, but we can't support Barstool. And I think it's gotten better. You know, this was like 3 years ago, I think, when I tried out for Barstool, but I didn't even think of the backlash that I got. Not backlash that I got, but a few people that are super supportive of me usually were like, I just can't fuck with you on this one. That's just not my thing. And then I was like, oh, cool. Once I stepped back from trying to win a competition, I was like, oh yeah, this is split down the middle.
Let me see. I got a couple more questions, and then I want to see if you
Yeah.
want to do some segments. Okay, just quickly, I wrote down quarantine material. Like every fucking comedian has quarantine material right now. Like, are you gonna be trying all of this out, or is it gonna be hacky that everybody's using their quarantine jokes when we get out?
I don't have any, to be honest
Oh,
with you. I don't
really?
have any. I haven't. People are like, have you been writing a lot? And I'm
That's
like,
probably good then.
yeah, I don't. To be honest, the pandemic's been depressing for me, and I don't write when I'm depressed. It's just been frustrating because it's just gone on, and I didn't think it would. So I really haven't. I wrote a few random things happened to me during the pandemic that I'll talk about. So I'm my first show is in 2 nights, and it'll be like 82 days since my last performance. So honestly, I'm actually nervous. I don't really get nervous anymore, but I'm nervous about it. But I haven't wrote any of the toilet paper jokes or like, and I'm more of a storyteller anyway. So I have like 2 stories that I've wrote, but I'm going to be starting from fresh, and I'm, you know, like I don't really know what I'm going to talk about, but I don't want to do a bunch of pandemic jokes because I don't like the pandemic. It's been awful.
That's
You know,
gonna be
stand up.
pretty commonplace, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody's gonna be
And
hacking
everybody's going
those
to do
out.
them. And I don't have anything funny to say about it because I haven't, nothing funny's happened. I've just sat home, you know, for, well, I mean, I've gone out a little bit in these last week and a half, but sitting home for 60 days when my whole life before that was, my life is do stand up, go to a sporting event, watch a sporting event on TV, or go to a concert. So they've taken everything away from me that I like. You know, those are the 3 things. If you behind me, there's just sports stuff, concert post. I mean, my whole
And
life is
vending machines.
comedy and comedy, sports, and concerts and being with my girlfriend. Luckily I have an amazing girlfriend, and we haven't had any. We never fight, so we made it through this. But a lot of people in my life. I mean, there was a wedding I was supposed to be in. I'm talking people canceled their weddings, not canceled, like canceled forever. People are like, oh yeah, they canceled because you can't use the venue. I'm like, no, they broke up, like
Oh,
canceled the wedding.
shit.
I know there's been a couple. There's probably been 5 or 6 couples that I'm friends with that have long term, some short term, some engaged that are just like, no, I don't want to spend one more day with this person.
That fucking sucks. Did
But
they
yeah,
end up
that's why.
having to stay quarantined with each other afterwards? Because that's always got to be awkward. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think no, I think like the people that were getting married, the girl moved to her parents. But no, but yeah, sorry to answer your question. No, I just really haven't wrote a lot of quarantine stuff because I think it's going to be quick, topical, and no, I don't think anyone's going to want to hear it, and everyone's going to be doing the same shit. So I'm going to stay away from it. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
I don't
can't
even
wait to
know.
go see
Remember the old jokes I did. I mean, this is the longest I ever went without doing stand up was in the last 15 years. Is probably the longest may have been 8 days. So this to be 80 days is it's going to be weird. We'll see what happens.
That is pretty nuts. What else did I have? Oh no, I just wanted to say before we did the podcast today, I saw you have one of the best like people, like somebody slid into your DMs with some bullshit. They were throwing some racist bullshit, and you had the best like comeback to them ever. You just screenshotted it and sent it to their mom, and I thought that is. Let's all, like everybody listening to this, let's make that the new way we go back at somebody. We're not hateful. We just screenshot. And I don't remember, what did you say to the mom?
I just said, is this your son? Do better. So
Yeah.
my friend Jill, a very funny comedian in Phoenix, she just posted like one of her friends posted just Black Lives Matter. And then this guy came in and he just said just horrible stuff. Like take some black dick in your ass. You fucking just racist, really racist stuff. And then I went to his Instagram and I was like, what's this guy do? And then I'm just scrolling down and then I get to Mother's Day and he tagged his mom and everything. I was like, well, this is a fucking volleyball set. We'll see about this. And then I sent the screenshot to his mom and just said, is this your son? You know? And then I just said, do better. And then I posted it, and I'm like, you know, cause I don't know, this shit's awful. I don't have the answers and stuff, but I'm like, I know I think it's better to embarrass somebody. I mean, there are people trying to get him lose his job, and he probably will lose his job, but I don't feel bad. I mean, I don't know. It's a hard one because I don't want to be called out for my jokes, but I think we're doing a little something different with jokes. Where he was coming from is a place of hate. My jokes never come from a place of hate. Inevitably, sometimes people get upset at my jokes, and I don't like that part of cancel culture because I'm trying to make you happy, but what he did was just hateful. So I have no remorse when I sent it to his mom, and then it kind of caught fire, and then people were.
That's pretty great.
I went through there. I found his mom. I sent it to his mom, and then my friend Joe's like, "Damn, you're savage." I was like, "Shit, his sister's private. His dad's dead, or they would have got it too." Like, we're gonna call people out. I'm big on calling people out, and I don't know why. I posted on Reddit, and then they like, well, you need to block his name. I was like, for what? When these people are doing bad shit, call them out. That's how you learn. You know, why are we covering their name? I'm pointing out this guy's a piece of shit, and you guys should know he's a piece of shit. And if you know him,
that's kind of what this whole thing is, to shed light on that.
Yeah, I'm not into just like saying, oh, I called somebody out, but not who it was. And then one dude came at me and was like, oh, that was corny. You're just looking for attention. I was like, yeah, it got a lot of good attention. But when I wrote it, I was just like, first of all, you don't talk to a girl. I have a little sister, mom. I don't talk to girls. Like what he said, I can't remember what it was, but it was awful. And then I was like, I think this will do better than just posting a black box. Let's call people out.
In my mind, I roll out this scenario though, like that's fucking hilarious. Like you didn't email his boss, so it's not like you weren't just immediately trying to get him fired. Because I'm kind of like I don't know, like it's tough. Like I don't want to talk about anybody's job right now, you know. So it's like I think a lot of times people just want to get people fired over little things. Sometimes, not that was a little thing by any means, but it's like it is so much funnier that like you went to his mom, and I can imagine like just. In my mind, I just imagine like an angry mom. What the hell are you doing? Writing things like that on the internet. And like, what mom? Like just as some dude at work on his lunch break calls his mom back and she just gives him an earful. Like that, that was funny enough for me, even if it didn't happen.
Yeah, the problem is I just react sometimes, and especially when I see something I don't like. So, you know, I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable with doing it. Like, fuck him. I just don't feel bad when you're trying to, you know, because in the dialogue too, there was no back and forth. Because that can happen, you know, when like if you get a screenshot and they've been going back and forth, you can mislead people. But this guy just came into this lady's DM and I just wrote just hateful, racist stuff. So I was like, well, let's see what your mom thinks about that. I don't know why, but it seemed like a good idea today. So we'll see. Yeah, all right, good. I don't now, but you know, just talking about it is like because we both do live in a business where we could say something and get fired. But if I lost work for being hateful, that's on me. If I lose work for trying to be funny, I think there's a big difference in that, and that's what we're always fighting in this content world. I think when you get upset, you have to take a step back and realize was he trying to upset me, or am I getting upset because I don't agree with his opinion? So we'll see what happens. I thought his mom would reach out, but nothing yet.
Maybe she's so disappointed she can't.
She should. I mean, I don't know what she says. I don't know how you defend that. You know, I thought about it in my situation. If I said something awful.
Well, let's wait for all the facts to come out. Who was he calling that for? Now, what did she say?
Yeah. So hopefully he learned his lesson because it's bad press. You know, some people are like, any press is good press. I remember I used to think that, but this stuff in this climate.
Nowadays, not at all.
Just being hatefully racist. I mean, that's just not a good look. So. We'll see. I'll keep you updated with whatever happens.
Yeah, just the boldness of that shit that's come out and like the last couple of years, just kind of like you're gonna just like you could do so many things and you're gonna choose this. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I just don't think he thought it would come out. So I think it's just a warning for everybody, myself included. We live in a screenshot world. So
times are changing.
If you put it down, you better be ready to defend it. You know, and always if you write it. You better be able to back it up or be ready to apologize because it ain't going away. You can delete it as fast as you want. Someone's going to grab that shit.
Speaking of apologizing, I was wondering if maybe you wanted to apologize to me for giving me advice on how to sneak into a stadium, and I was not able to do so.
Wait, what went wrong?
The last time, episode 176 of Pass the Gravy, you were talking, like you had talked about all of the places you snuck into, and you're like, dude, you don't even need to pay. So I one time came into, and like I felt like I know, like it wasn't your fault at all. Like, and I panicked when it happened too. But I was I was going to a game with a couple of friends, and somebody had transferred him tickets. But it was in one of those like ticketing apps, and he only screenshotted it. He didn't know the app. He screenshotted the email that his buddy sent him. And so he's like, well, no, I can get us in. And that was like, now you have to have the app, and it's got like a rotating baseball on it or whatever.
Yeah,
so you know it's not fake. But they don't accept screenshots. And they were like, no, we can't accept screenshot. He's like, well, I don't know the guy's login. Like, I don't know how to do all of this. And I don't know. It was really complicated. And I was like, well, fuck it, dude. Come here. We'll act like we're going to go do the app thing. I got an idea. I know what I can do. And I remember you were like, dude, just put yourself on the phone, pretend you're on the phone, and then just go all in. Go all in. I was like, no. My friend, he just forgot. And they had a security guard right there, and the security guard was like, not happening. And I was like panicked. I was like, what else did Brandt teach me? What did he teach me? And I was like, I don't know. And then my friends were just like, I guess they were going to follow my lead, but then they didn't come after a certain point, and I'm already past the turnstiles, getting pulled back. And they just escorted me out, but it was like we had to go buy tickets. But I was like, "Fuck."
Well, the first mistake is sneak in is a solo game, maybe 2 people. If you have plural, it's really hard to get more people.
There were the 4 of us, so I just was like, well, I got an idea.
But with the screensaver thing, I mean, you could work it. You just have to be patient. So what I do is if I get up there and then I show them the screensaver, and then that's a screenshot. They go, that doesn't work. I go, oh shit, let me see. Let me send him another one. Let me have him send another one. Because I'm in a group of 8. Maybe he sent me one that already got, And usually I could just hang there and pretend like I'm waiting for somebody to bring me the ticket. I always say, here, I'll tell him to just come down here because I know he has them all on his phone. Maybe he sent me one that got zapped or something. And usually then I just stand there and then I wait till they let their guard down for a second and turn their head, and then I'm just gone. If you wait it out, you want to stay right there by him. And then if you just can't get scared. A couple of times I got scared, but in the moment you're just like, okay, this is my chance. I got to go. But I've had times when guys come, or if my friend did have like 7 or 8 tickets, then he comes down and then we start going through the tickets. You're like, I don't know, maybe it's this. And then you need a buddy that's kind of with you on it. But then you're like, I don't know, I sent him this one. And then you just create a little confusion. And then if you're nice, they'll eventually are going to be like,
it's just not worth their time.
Just go. Yeah. Because that's the thing. They can't. So even if you say, okay, if it doesn't work, then you say, I'm going to stand right here. And when he gets here, we'll go over it. And they're like, okay. And then they go back to doing their work. And then no one else around knows that they don't know why you're standing there. It's just a one-on-one conversation, So if they have to do their job, even if let's say they take a look to the left and you're 20 feet gone, they can't chase you down because they have a job of letting the people, they just have to go. I mean, I've looked back over my shoulder and we've caught eyes, and you could tell they're just like, fuck it, he got me. I got to do my job, And it's a painless crime. I never feel bad about it. People are like, you can't get in trouble. I'm sure they just escort you out. You went and bought a ticket. It's like it's not a bad. People are like, well, are you scared to get in trouble? No, there's no trouble. They'll just say you leave, and then you just go to another exit. Try to get in.
Don't hit anyone.
And they're $1 billion, and they'll be fine. You don't ever have to worry about it. So it's just persistence, and like I think with these new digital tickets, I've had luck because one time at the Broncos Stadium, like week 2, I heard him over say like, we're having trouble with the ones that came through Ticketmaster. So then I just found someone who had a Ticketmaster, and then I had a Ticketmaster screenshot, and I have it just being nice. Hey man, I just got it. I don't know. I have this. I can call. You just keep talking to them, keep them engaged. Okay, my bad. Let me call them. They'll come down. They have other tickets maybe. And then you build a little rapport with them. And then eventually, they're just like, unless they're trying to win employee of the month, they're just like, go, or you'll get your chance and you just go,
just make your move.
Because they don't know. A lot of times, I mean, with all those people coming in, you'll definitely have your chance. What happens with me is like, I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to have to stand here, bullshit. And then when I get a chance, go. And then I'll be standing there and I'll be like, oh, here's my chance. And then I won't go. Then I'll be like, damn it. That was it. I should have went. And then I had to give myself a pep talk like, all right, next time you're fucking going. But then that second time, it wasn't as good a shot as it was that first time. So now I always try to tell myself, just go that first time, because then that second time, but then you just go, and then And then, like I said, if you get caught, they just kick you out, and then you just go buy a ticket, or you go try to get on the other side. If you don't get in, then you just go to a bar. It's like,
dude, it's like a rush though. I had such a rush when like when you said you just got to commit to it. Like I remember, all right, like I already told him I know how to do it. Like I had already like gassed myself up, and I was like, all right, just don't look back. Just don't look back. Don't look back until you can get to like where you can see the field, turn around, they'll be there. And then like didn't even get that far. I got to like the security guards. Like, hey,
no, it's the gamesmanship of it. I love it, especially if it's a game I don't really care about. I don't try to sneak into shit that's really important anymore because I don't want to miss the first quarter or whatever. But if someone's like, hey, come to this concert or come to this game, and they're like, tickets are like $180, I'm like, all right, I'll be in. I'll meet you in, but I don't want to, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on, a game that I like going to games and concerts, but then if it's like a game I'm just like, whatever, then it becomes a more fun game for me because now there's a game within the game of me trying to get in there. But my bad. Sorry,
dude, no,
I gave you bad advice.
It wasn't really your fault. I just wanted to fuck with you. But
that's the only advice. Sneak in and as minimal 1 or 2 people max.
I do remember you said act like you're on the phone and just inconvenience. And I was like, what? I was pretending like I couldn't find somebody.
But you need the laminate. That's what you didn't have. You got to keep the laminate because the laminate's key because so no matter whatever you were going to, you got to remember they're used to just seeing different laminates every night because if it's one night it's Rihanna, the next night it's a Bronco game, the next night it's motocross. They're just trained to see a laminate hanging from your neck. So if you have that and then you're on the phone, then you just show it and then you can go, they told me to come here, blah, blah, blah. They're just trained because what I always say is you'd be out of your mind to stop somebody. If you have a laminate, you're probably important. So I would not try to stop someone important and lose my $12 an hour job that I need, I always bank on that. It's like, and no one ever thinks you're just going to wear a laminate for no reason. But you should always wear it because it comes with power. No one knows what it says, nothing. I wear my laminate all the time, and people just get out of my way.
Laminates and whistles are the two.
Whistle's more aggressive. They can get in trouble with a whistle.
Dude, with a whistle, like we do these, we call it Buzz Fest. We have like all these. It's our own like stations, music fest. And I found in one of the backpacks that I just take to Buzz Fest every year, like I just found a whistle, and I was like, I don't remember where I had this from, but okay. And I threw my lanyard on it, but the whistle was on the back of it. And like I was like, if you blow a whistle anywhere, people just listen to you because they think you're in charge. It's like. And they like you just clear out, and it's like, and I don't have any authority, but like it's everybody's just used to lifeguards doing it, so they're like, yeah, no, listen to that guy. That guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah,
that's some next level shit. I've never done the whistle, but that would be one that I would love to do. Is if I just had a whistle and the lanyard, and then I got up there, whistled, pointed at my friends, brought them through, just did all hand signals. These guys are good. They're with me going through, and then the whistle. I don't know if anyone, but it would be so cool to just point your friends through with that whistle and be like, because I don't know, you're right. People overthink about getting scared or getting in trouble. It's like, first of all, no one probably thinks you're trying to sneak in, especially the more adult you get. Like I've got gray hair in my beard. I think people think I'm more of a respectable person than a punk ass kid trying to sneak in, but I'm still that punk ass kid that just wants to sneak in. So as long as I tell people most people don't get in because they just get in their own way. It's not the security guards that got in their own way. It's you get in your own way. Just get focused, make up your mind, and then just get your ass in there. And then I tell you what, when you sneak in, those beers taste even just a little better in there.
Yeah, because you're saving all that money on the ticket. Yeah. You got to come to Houston when this shit's all over.
I will.
We're going to go to some game, whether it's Texans, Astros, Rockets. We're sneaking in.
I would love to, man. I would love to go steal whatever I could from the Astros gift shop.
Yeah, dude.
Force, the way they stole that championship.
That's a very sensitive subject down here.
We should all just go into the gift shop and steal whatever we can. They deserve it. But no, I'd love to come down there, see a football game, baseball game, whenever shit gets back to normal.
Minute Maid's a pretty dope park. If say what you want about the cheating. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan, so I enjoyed hating on that too. But like, it got old fast for me. Just because I live here, it's like anytime anybody's like the Astros were playing a spring training, they go, "Oh, they're gonna cheat again." It's like, all right, we get it.
Just the same joke. It'll be like
when
I go
funny,
back to
though. Every now and then, you like the guy with that hat. The one time just had the trash can hat. That was funny. Yeah. The 30th guy with it, not so funny.
No, I'll come down and we'll see if we can sneak in together. It'll be good content. Well, it'll be fun. And then if we don't get in, we'll buy tickets. But it's more fun.
You get cheap tickets. Cheap tickets, and we'll sneak up. Although the Astros, now that they're good, like I remember when like I work the Astros radio broadcast, like the 3 seasons they were the worst team in baseball, back to back to back, and like nobody was in the. It was like a Florida Marlins game.
Yeah,
There was just nobody in the stands, and now like they're good, so generally like people are into them. I mean, there were always diehard Astros fans, but like I'm probably not gonna go see my team if they're fucking trash.
yeah. Well, part of that sneaking around stuff, you just got to pay attention because that's like a thing here at Coors Field. There's a yellow line like behind the plate, those good seats at like the 15th row. And what I realized, you can go, if you want to sneak down, you can go to the 16th row and up. They won't fuck with you. But if you cross that yellow line, the ushers are trained just to watch those 15 rows. So I've seen them. And eventually, usher just told me, he goes, "Hey, man, I know there's no one," because it was like 8th inning, no one's down there. He's like, "Hey, man, there's just rules. I can't let you sneak. If you want to go 2 rows back, you're fine." And then, so then now I know that, towards the end of games, we can always move down, but we don't have that. I watch people see me move down, but then they try to take it further past that yellow line. Then they get kicked out. They're like, "Well, why aren't those guys kicked out?" But the ushers don't have time to explain the rules. They just keep it moving. And then we just sit there and drink our beers. But it's all fun and games, man. That's a good thing about it. Nobody gets hurt. So I love it, man. I love it's me against them always.
I can't wait till there is a day again where we can actually go.
Yeah, no shit. First of all, I wouldn't sneak in. I'd pay anything to get in the game right now.
As we speak, we are only 100 days officially from the start of NFL season. That Thursday night game, Texans Chiefs, 100 days away. So worst case scenario, we are 100 days away from one of the major 4 sports returning.
The most important one for sure.
Definitely. Because I was like, I mean, not to be insensitive, but I've joked for weeks that I will riot if the NFL season gets canceled.
Yeah.
I was a part owner of the Houston Roughnecks. No big deal, not to brag. The XFL unofficial champions. And by part owner, I mean I own season tickets. But they fucked with my XFL, and I was like, that was my thing. Like, I had football in February and March, and I was supposed to have it in April, but you ruined that, Corona. And if you ruin my NFL, I am gonna lose my shit, because the Giants are probably going to not be that good this year, and I'm going to have to sit and watch it. But I want to watch that instead of just being like, what the fuck, man? Like,
and I'll like every year I'll waste my first pick on a Giant that'll fucking ruin my fantasy season.
Well, Saquon won't this year.
With Saquon last year, the year before that it was Beckham. It's like, why am I picking these motherfucking Giants? And then I got to watch these shitty games.
Yeah,
I'll do it again. I'll take Saquon again if he's there.
Okay, let's do we do some segments on the show. I think you've done 2 of the 3 so far, but let me first talk to you guys about let me do some ads real fast. I got to tell you about the official beer sponsor of Pass the Gravy Podcast, Southern Star Brewing Company. They are now back to their regular tap room hours. You can get them anywhere like Kroger, Randall's, H-E-B. Most of the grocery stores here in town have them. And then you can get them at liquor stores such as Specs, Total Wine & More, Goody Goody. Pretty much every liquor store here, at least in Texas, has them. And I'm pretty sure you can get some Southern Star elsewhere. But again, like, the tap rooms are open. They just had those specific hours after the whole Corona thing. But as things are starting to open up, they are too. And they're still doing the single serve cups. The one time, you're not getting the glass, but they're being very sanitary. One person at the bar at a time. And go and support some Southern Star. 3525 North Fraser Street in Conroe, Texas. 3525 North Fraser Street. And also, it is an election year, and your vote matters more than ever. And there's nothing more important to vote on this year than whether or not you want the red or the blue Bombshell Blonde can. I mean, I'm drinking a blue right now, and last time I was drinking red, and I said I was team red. Now I'm team blue again. I'm team blue. The blue just is growing on me. I'm back and forth. You can go place your vote at bombshell2020.com. The best beer in all of the world, and the official beer sponsor of Pass the Gravy Podcast. If you're drinking a Southern Star, hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at Pass the Gravy Pod. Tag them at Southern Star BC. Let them know that you are supporting the people that support us. We'll give you a retweet, a follow, and we'll give you a shout out at the end of the month. Southern Star Brewing Company, the best beer in the whole world. Also, this is brought to you by Little M Air Fresheners, the best air fresheners in the whole world. You got a smelly car that has you down. Little M Air Fresheners don't only look good, they smell great. They're made from paper thin with essential oils. Those air fresheners are going to freshen up any space that you have. They offer an awesome variety of scents and unique designs. If you spend $10, you're going to get free shipping. That's 5 of the best air fresheners in the world you're going to get for $10. You get free shipping. Why wouldn't you do it? Little M air fresheners. I promise you. I believe the SpaceX even had a Little M air freshener. I'm not sure if that was photoshopped. Cannot confirm, but people might be talking about Little M maybe in space. We're not like don't quote me on that. But I think I saw a picture. Go check it out. Little M tweets on Twitter and Little M shop on Instagram. Tweet us. Let us know if you get any Little M products. We'll give you the shout out, just like with Southern Star. And then go and get some Little M air fresheners. LittleMshop.com. That's LittleEmShop.com. All right. Now we have done 2 of these.
Whoa, kaboom!
Whoa.
That was my ad kaboom for you there.
That's tight. I like that. That was Bert, right?
I think it's just I just have a sound.
This is gonna be a war.
It's just full of random people. I don't know. Let me see.
Whoa, kaboom!
Nah, I think it's just somebody regular.
Or is that NBA Jam maybe?
Oh yeah, maybe that's probably what it is. Actually, I got a bunch.
I started twitching since the quarantine.
Oh, you did?
We tried to, like, nobody gives a shit about our Twitch channel. Like I didn't know what Twitch was really until like a month ago, but got NBA Jam on the Xbox.
Nice.
It's still got like LeBron in Miami. I think Kevin Martin and Courtney Lee are the only 2 like Rockets guys. And I'm like, fuck, all right, whatever.
Wait, I say, who do you play with, the Rockets?
No, I've been going Knicks. I've been going Melo and Amari because pretty solid NBA Jam guys.
Wait, no Jeremy Lin?
No, way before that.
All right.
I think it was must have been like 2010, 2011 maybe when they came out with that.
Oh yeah, that's
But they haven't updated the rosters at all. But I was just like, I played Tecmo Bowl.
Love it.
That. I'm terrible at Tecmo Bowl, but I'm better.
Who do you play with in Tecmo Bowl?
Well, it's like the Xbox one doesn't have the NFL rights, so I just play with Houston, which is just Houston. There's no mascot, and the guys are all made up. Okay. This segment is the What Would Jesus Do segment. Now, I was at a bachelor party a while back, and I was talking to my friend when I got back, and I was like, I don't know. It was a weird situation I was in. He was like, well, I wonder what Jesus would do. And that brought up a good point because, like everybody had those bracelets back in the day, and it always said to, like, think about what Jesus would do, but we never got the answer. What would Jesus do? So, you know what? You guys get to ask us that. Use the hashtag PTGWWJD to @PassGrayPod on Twitter. And while you're at it, follow Brandt Tobler @Brandt Tobler, BrandtTobler. Follow me @AlexJMiddleton, and the podcast is @PassGrayPod. Hashtag PTGWWJD. Throw Jesus in a situation in like modern times and just, frame it with a question. We'll get to the bottom of it. This is the What Would Jesus Do segment.
Jesus, what would Jesus do? Jesus, what would Jesus do? Put him in a situation in a modern time. If he wrote this jingle, do you think he'd make it rhyme? So think about this crazy world in which we live today, and how would Jesus handle it in any given way?
This week's What Would Jesus Do comes from our good buddy Tim Kostanek @the1T629111154. It sounds like a Star Wars droid. Tim Kostanek, he made our football helmets, Pastor Gay football helmets here. But Tim says, if Jesus married a celebrity, who would it be?
Who? Wow. Do I go first?
Just whenever you feel like it, man. I'm trying to think.
Oh boy,
would it be like Oprah?
I don't know. Does Jesus have a type?
I don't know. What was Mary Magdalene? Allegedly, he married her, right? Or he was.
If I was Jesus, I feel like Jesus would do pretty good.
I mean, you get your pick, right?
Yeah. If I was Jesus, I would pick.
You're like, God, ever heard him? He's my dad.
Yeah, it's a pretty good name drop. I don't know.
Some might say the best.
Yeah, I think he could have whoever he wants. I mean, just whatever Jesus is into. For me, I would take like I'm a blonde. I would take like blondes and big tits. So I would take who's Verlander's wife? Kate Upton.
Kate Upton.
That would be my choice, or something along those lines. A young Pamela Anderson. I definitely have a style. If I was, I have a definite thing I'm into, and it's blonde with huge tits.
Like, yeah, is he gonna go that way, or is it like the wholesome one? Because I don't know if you watch the Today Show, but I got a real thing for Savannah Guthrie. Just she's got that like mom-like quality. She seems like you'd take her home to meet the parents because she is wholesome. Like she's smiley, she's great, she's tall, she's got great genes. Your kids are going to be basketball players, although you're Jesus, so it doesn't really matter. You have the best genes of all time, I would assume.
Yeah, there's about 500 girls on Instagram. I mean, he would be one lucky. He'd have just his pick of
his DMs would just be nuts.
Yeah, the pick of the litter, I think they say. So I can't imagine that he would be whatever like Leonardo DiCaprio goes through right now. That would be Jesus.
What do you think? Like I don't know, who's the hottest chick right now?
I don't know, man. I don't.
Ratchkowski.
Yeah, she's a smoke show.
She's up there.
I honestly don't know any names. I just know when I'm scrolling through, Barstool does a good job of showing girls. I never know their names, but I mean, there's so many beautiful girls. I mean, I don't know how many are tricking us with filters and stuff, but I'll tell you what, there's girls on Instagram. Well, there was girls like when I lived in LA, I lived right in Hollywood. There's a grocery store that everybody goes to. And there was no bullshit. Like 3 or 4 times I came around the corner and I ran into a girl and like lost my breath. I remember that I heard that as like a thing, but I was like, and I was like, oh my God, and they were, I don't even know who they were. They were just regular LA girls. So they just
make you feel uncomfortable when you're around them. Like, I don't need to be in your vicinity.
I just couldn't believe how beautiful they were in person. Like, it's like, sounds like a corny thing, but I was just like, I literally lost it. I was like, oh my, I just couldn't believe how hot they were.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was incredible. There were just a few of them. They were like, maybe they were someone famous. I don't know. There's a lot of times when I was just like, I cannot believe this person is this good looking.
Who's like single? Like Jennifer Aniston. She's single, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, JC would hit up. He'd hit up Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, I could see that be a match.
Like, and she's right up there. Like, everybody knows who she is. They'd be a power couple right off the bat.
I think Megan Fox is single. I'd go with that route.
She's dating Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, that's for sure. All right. Well, then
I think. I didn't 100%
confirm, but
it seemed confirmed on the internet the other day.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh. Have you listened to that song that he did with her, like in the music video?
No. Is it good?
It's pretty dope. I don't want to like Machine Gun Kelly, but he did that song.
He came through here with Pete Davidson when Pete Davidson was performing, and he was cool. Smoke a lot of weed. They all got tattoos together in the green room.
Pete got tattoos? I can't imagine either of them got tattoos.
Yeah. They but he was cool to everybody, staff and everybody, so he's
just like he looks like a guy I want to hate, but like as of late, like he did the Motley Crue movie, he did a great job in that. Yeah. You saw the shit he had to put up with to get into it and to like get into that character. And then like, I don't know, his like rock stuff's not bad. Travis Barker likes him, and Travis Barker's like the coolest guy.
Yeah. Well, when he came at Eminem, I was like, you shouldn't have done that. But then I was like, it wasn't bad what he came with, and then Eminem destroyed him. But it
was just like the one guy you don't want to go at.
Yeah.
There's a couple, like him and Drake.
Because when I was listening to his, I was like, this is pretty good. It's pretty good. And then Eminem came and was like, you got demolished, bro.
It wasn't even close.
I didn't like him coming at Eminem, but no, he's doing pretty good. He's had a good year. Barstool was showing his. You're right. That is where he dated who else? Kate Beckinsale and someone else. That's just.
And he's dated 2 other chicks this year that were like, oh shit, okay, go get it, bro.
Machine Gun Kelly. That's our Jesus right now.
Mm-hmm. He is our modern day Jesus.
We're lucky to have him.
So like Megan Fox, Jennifer Aniston would be, I guess, our guesses of who
that's who JC's going with. Yeah.
That was a good one. All right. That was our What Would Jesus Do segment. You can submit yours, #PTGWWJD to @PassTheGradyPod. Our next one is the Not Cool segment. You've done one of these before. It's just we tell you what has happened, something that's happened to us the last week that is just not cool. And it could be stubbing your toe. It could be, getting punched in the face by somebody you didn't know or whatever. Just a random dude just punched you in the face. But mine's not that great. But here we go. This is the Not Cool segment.
Not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool.
All right, mine not cool. I'll go first if you wanna think about one. Mine is, and it's kind of like I don't know. I've had fun doing it, but not lose. Like I'm getting addicted to horse racing. I'm really getting into horse racing because there's nothing going on. Like, I'm betting Bundesliga soccer a little bit. 3-0 betting the Bundesliga, no big deal.
Nice.
Not to brag, but I'm probably the greatest all-time, tied best winning percentage ever in Bundesliga betting history. But I've been getting into horse racing. Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2 will like show America's Day at the Races, and so I'm like betting races at Churchill Downs and at Rio Doso. I think that's in. It's somewhere like
I don't
Oklahoma
know.
or New Mexico. I don't know. But I'm betting stuff on just horses. And like, I don't know, like with other sports, you can kind of gauge like, okay, well, I know this quarterback is good. This guy's good. Like, I'm like, I have no idea who fucking Sunnyside Sunday is. Like, where the fuck is this guy? He's a 2-year-old. Okay. Well, how do I find out about horses? I don't know. Like, I know. So one of my little hacks I've been doing is I watch the Kentucky Derby usually every year. And sometimes you remember the names of the horses that won. And you can see the sires, the dads sometimes. And if I know that, like, Orb, I know one. And then Curlin, I know 100% are horses that have won a Triple Crown race, at least, if not the Kentucky Derby. And I was like, I bet those kids all the time. And they don't really give me returns. So I bought, I have horse racing for dummies. I literally bought, like, that's one of my dumb purchases. And I'm like, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out horse racing. Because nobody's ever just bought a bunch of books and like not won all the money that they wanted, right? Like that's never happened before, where I just got really into it and
I love it.
Everything I owned. But it's like fun to get into because like that one that wins, like I had one win the other day and it's just like such a rush. But then like 9 other times you're upset because you're picking long shots that you think might do stuff. You're picking fucking weird names. The weird names never win, by the way.
No.
Weird names never win. 100% of the time it's bad, but you're picking things that are like 15-1 or worse. Just like maybe I'll turn $2 into more than that. And like, I'm only betting like just pretty much straight up and shit. I'm not getting like crazy in quinellas or whatever the fuck that is. Although I know those are words now. I know how to gamble a little bit.
That's the good part.
I'm getting sucked into horse racing. And the not cool part is like, I'm getting into it right before like the major sports are about to come back. So like, then it's going to be like, cool. Remember when I was into horse racing? And now it's like useless. So it's like a not cool. That's not really that not cool, but for my wallet, it's not cool. So far.
You know what? My uncle's a horse handicapper. That's his job, or he calls it that. And it's funny because I've asked him for picks, and they never are worth a shit. But then he always, when I don't ask him for picks, he's like, he always had the winner. It's like, it's not, that part's not cool for me. But I love that you're into horse. We need sports back. My one of my best friends, he just moved in next door yesterday, and I was like, what are you doing on your phone? And he was fucking betting like table tennis. He's like, I'm losing my ass on table tennis. And like, I was like, what are you doing? Give me your fucking phone, you idiot.
Dude, I race Hot Wheels cars in my apartment every single day now. I do. It's called Alex's Race Wars. Like, it doesn't look great now. Called it that. Like, I started it first. Okay, we're on day like 56 now of Alex's Race Wars as we record this. But it's like I put odds and shit, and people are like, "No, I'm gonna go Aztec Gold for the win." Aztec, like, it's fun watching people get into it.
That's awesome. That's cool.
But it's like if you told me at 31 I'm gonna be racing Hot Wheels cars every single day, like I would have been
lucky.
Things aren't going well.
You're lucky. I'm trying to think. So my not cool would be my not cool is friendship. Because part of friendship is you have to help your friends move, and I had to help my friend move, and it just was not cool. But I had to do it, and then I had to help him. I didn't have to. It just it's not cool how loyal of a friend I am, because I had to spend my Sunday moving and then vacuuming and mopping my boy's spot. So, and just not cool. The fact that I don't think stand-up's ever coming back. It's a reoccurring not cool. I don't know when it is, man. I mean, like I said, I'm doing a show Thursday, but I don't know when.
Has had people out there. We had Brian I think it was Brian Callen.
Brian Callen, yeah.
He came out, and then Brendan Schaub was with him, and then we had Adam Carolla last week.
Oh, really? So you guys are getting close. Yeah, it's just not, I would say not cool here.
We're in fucking Texas. We don't give a shit right now.
Yeah, Comedy Works is not, I don't know if I just keep looking at the calendar and they keep taking stuff off. So that's not cool at all.
Just come to Houston, dude. Do a gig here.
I will. I'm going to have to, man. I'm going to have to.
Have you ever done anything? Have you ever been to Houston?
I don't think so. Just a layover. I've been to Houston Airport. I think Houston is where I always lay over when I go to Costa Rica. Would that be Houston or Dallas?
I believe it's Houston. Yeah,
I think it's Houston. Yeah,
I think either of them, honestly.
I think we always lay over in Houston, but no, I've never been. Oh no, I have been to Houston. I went to a Rockets game, and I spent 2 nights in Houston. It was pretty cool. It was a long time ago though. My buddy was dating this girl, and it was when we were rich. I went and stayed at the Four Seasons or the Ritz, whatever's right by the stadium. We went to we got to sit courtside. Rockets versus Kings. I got a picture of Chris Webber, and then the next night my buddy was on a date with this girl that lived there, and then I think I just stayed, but I didn't know where to go. Isn't there a big mall in Houston with like a ice
Galleria? Yeah.
Yeah, I went there. I forgot I had been to Houston, but no, I haven't. As a comedian, I haven't been to Houston.
To come to the H, bro. Come to the H. We'll party.
I like it. Like Mike Jones, he's from Houston, right?
Who?
Mike Jones. And like Paul Wall, and I used to listen to a lot. Paul Wall, who else is from Houston? Like Slim Thug or somebody?
Slim Thug, Pimp C.
Yeah, I used to bump a lot of Houston.
Fat Pat.
Yeah. I'm in. You let me know. Let me figure it out. I'll get down there. How far is that from Dallas?
About 3.5, 4 hours, depending on traffic. My girl's from Grand Prairie, which is right outside of Dallas. So yeah.
Oh, really? Wait, is she a Cowboy fan?
Her family she does not really care about football, but that is.
How do you deal with the family with this Giants?
We don't talk about it.
All right. Then I won't talk about it.
It's very just like, oh, okay. Like I've done Thanksgiving at her house, and like we're watching TV, and I'm pretty respectful with like it's like my girlfriend's dad, so I'm not gonna be a dick about his fucking football team.
Yeah.
But, like I don't know, like I talk shit to friends of mine that are like big fans of teams, but like I'm such a diehard fan, like I hate it when people just chirp at me for no reason. But like if I have like a buddy that's like a diehard anything, like one of my really close friends is a Cowboys fan. Or an Eagles fan, and it's like I don't know. I won't give him shit, but I will, but I won't, just because like I know like he goes through the same shit that I'm going through. It's the fucking like the Cowboys though are like the worst at like, oh, we're good. Hey, guess who's a Cowboys fan again?
Yeah.
Bobby's a big fan again, and he's talking shit. And you're like, shut the fuck up, dude. You didn't give a fuck about them 2 years ago.
No, I'm with you. But I'll get down there. We'll do Houston.
That'd be tight. That'd be tight. So that was our Not Cool segment. And we got one final one. This is the Answers segment. Now, in 3rd grade, in Miss Winter's class, she told us there's no such thing as a stupid question. I raised my hand and was laughed at from whatever the question was. I can't remember. I just remember the humiliation that came with my class laughing at me. So I vowed that one day I'd be in charge, and I wouldn't judge people for their stupid questions. And like, you can have a stupid question, but don't worry. Just send it on in. We're going to get to it. If it's a high thought, if it's something you think of while drunk, if you see it on the internet and wonder what the Gravy Gang is going to have to say about it, hit us up. #PTG Answers at Pass the Gravy Pod. I'm at Alex J. Middleton. Pat is at Not Pat Dean, and Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. Give Brandt Tobler a follow at Brandt Tobler on Twitter, BRANDTTOBLER. And if you want to email them, although we prefer Twitter, you can email us answers at passthegravypod.com. This is the Answers segment.
Well, if you just answer the question, why don't you just answer the question? Be honest, no big deal. Yeah, answer the question.
Don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question.
Any questions?
Our first question comes from our buddy Todd Voss, Pass the Gravy's MVP last year, at as_seen_by_TV. Yeah, we have awards at the end of the year.
Nice.
Yeah, we do. And Todd was the MVP.
Good job, Todd.
Yeah, well done, champ. Let's see if we can go back to back, though. But he's submitting answers questions, so that helps. Todd Voss says, if Air Bud plays soccer, is he prohibited from using his front paws?
Yeah.
It was a movie. It was Golden Pups. Or
unless
Golden
he's
Pup.
a goalie, right?
Yeah, if he's a goalie, he can do whatever he wants.
He's a goalie, he can use all 4, but if he's not, I'm sorry, Air Bud.
He's at a disadvantage as a goalie, though. He's just not got the reach.
Yeah, but he can jump.
He can, but like I feel like a human can jump higher.
Well, yeah, you'd want to use him in the field because he's faster. So I would say
probably like a mid, maybe. He's not a striker. He's not, I don't trust him to strike, dude.
Yeah, I'd have him running like the outside half. Just let him run down, get a couple good crosses in there. Can play offense, defense. Well, it depends. Air Bud. Yeah, I would say put him in the field, but he can't use his front paws.
You don't think he's, because I was thinking those are like dogs have 4 feet, not 2 hands and 2 feet.
Yeah.
right?
But I wonder if you could kick. I don't know.
The dog would
I
have to
bet
kick
he'd be good
backwards.
at headers, though.
Oh yeah, probably.
Might want to put him up front, actually. But yeah, that's a great question.
I think he'd have to be allowed to use the front paws, just because, like, if you think about it, a dog can't kick forward.
Well, he wouldn't be able to dribble if he didn't be able to use his front paws. So yeah, I guess he'd have
Use
to.
his nose.
Yeah. Well, I guess he uses nose. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I would say yes, for the sake of entertainment, for a better product.
Yeah, just the speed of the game, you know?
Yeah.
I like that. I would watch a dog soccer game if there was just 11 dogs against 11 dogs. That is something somebody should have done during quarantine to get some views online. Verbal trademark. Nobody can copy that. I just said that.
I heard it. I'll vouch.
Yep. And everybody that listens is our attorney now too. So client privilege. So Loctite. Our next question is from Brandon Whitehead at Brando Whitehead on Twitter. He says, lobsters, just scorpion mermaids?
I mean, I guess that's.
They don't really have a stinger on the back though, and I feel like that's what would make you a scorpion. But then if you're a mermaid, you have the tail thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It just made me hungry. I like. That was two of the three things I like the most: lobster and mermaids. Not a big. What do you say, scorpion?
Scorpion. I've never eaten a scorpion or a mermaid.
I do. You know what? We do scorpion shots here in Denver. You need to come to Denver.
Like actual scorpions?
It's like a little thing like pickled vodka, and then at the bottom they put a baby scorpion in. You can either kill it or chew it.
Do you kill it?
I've done both.
It's like the worm and tequila?
Yeah. It's no big deal. I think I'd more just swallow it, but I think I have chewed it, but it didn't do anything. But yeah.
That is a good shot to just get people to buy it. John Taffer would be so like stoked about a shot like that. Of
course that's the only reason we buy it. But we go to another bar. At that same bar, I don't know if you ever had one of these flower shots where you put this little flower in your mouth and you chew it. No. Then it makes your mouth numb, and then you take the shot, which is like Kool-Aid and vodka, and then it makes your mouth tingle. It's crazy. I make all my friends do it, and then they're like, "What is this?" Then they take it, and then they don't really like it. They're like, "That was so weird," but then they can't not take it another one or get it for a friend. Just look it up. It's called a flower shot.
Flower shot.
It's great. It's I recommend it. But yeah, I mean, what was it?
Scorpion? Have you ever taken a vapor shot?
No, what's that?
I went to a bar in Austin with a friend, and it was just like we saw like it was a fucking straight up thing at a bar rescue. I feel like where it's like, oh, this is like they bring this like straw with this tube thing. It looked all like high tech and shit, and then they sprayed this hose under a glass and like trapped it upside down and then moved it, and like you were supposed to take a shot out of like it was just like smoke. And they're like, yeah, it's like vodka. And I was like, dude, I feel like I just paid like $12 for air.
I said, I'm such a sucker for any kind of shot like that.
Well, that was exactly what it was. It was like, I'm going to try it. But then like, I was like, yeah, I totally got ripped off.
In Vegas, they had this one at the famous Double Down, the famous dive bar. They had this ass juice shot that came with like insurance. But ass juice, it was just they just took like all the, you pour it in a thing by the bar and all the like leftover shit.
Sleeve,
yeah, they poured that. That was called ass juice. But then you didn't want to drink it, but you had to. It was just like a rite of passage. So then that was another bar where I took people there and was like, you have to do it because that's just what we do. And then eventually you'll bring people here and they'll have to do it. And that's how bars like that stay alive.
Did any of those people get coronavirus?
I don't know. It's a long time ago.
Because if not, then like I feel like that's one of those things where there were those memes. It's like if you ever did this or went to this place in this city, you ain't getting coronavirus. It's like if you do that, you're probably safe.
That's the thing. It was like it was like a vaccine. But yeah, maybe you know what? All the people that took ass juice shots with me, they're all healthy and fine. They're pretty much bulletproof. So I recommend it. If you go to Vegas, I don't know. God knows what happens when we come out of this. They might have
pay for the shot. Do you have to pay for that?
Yeah, it was like $2
for just leftover booze.
But then you pay for puke insurance because a lot of people puke with it. I think puke insurance is like $5. So if you buy the puke insurance and then if you puke, you don't have to clean it up.
Oh, that's pretty tight.
Yeah, it's a legendary bar. It's right.
It's actually a really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, It's like it was like the most famous dive bar Playboy voted it one year or something. It's a wild. I mean, the grossest bathrooms. It's one of those places you got to go once, and then you probably never have to go there again. But you should go once.
Yeah, if you
go
have
an ask you shot once, and then when people bring it up, you can be a part of the story. But it's not going to be a regular bar.
Yeah, I tried to stay away from Vegas talk with you because I think the last 2 episodes we did, I just straight up talked about like all of your Vegas shit. Brandt has had like the craziest shit. And go listen to the other 2 podcasts if you haven't already. You should have already because you should do your research. But like, go listen to the other 2 because Brandt's got some awesome shit. Also, go check out his website BrandtTobler.com because you can watch his stories on there. This is not happening. That's one of my favorite ones that they did on the show, and is that your best story? You think?
Yeah, I mean that was the one.
It's hard to top that.
Yeah, that was my favorite. That's the one I worked the hardest on, and it's on my YouTube. It's got like almost 4 million views, so it's pretty cool. I never dreamed that it would do good like that. I never dreamed it'd be on Comedy Central. It's a story about trying to kill my dad. So if you haven't seen it, go to Brandt Tobler Comedy on YouTube, and there's a bunch of
that should be a tease enough. Like, oh, I'm on.
It's
Pause this. Go check it out.
It's a pretty incredible story. So go check out my YouTube. I'm putting up a bunch of crazy shit on there.
You also got your book Free Roll. You put that, was it 2017, 2018?
Yeah, I think 2017, 2018. So that's got all the crazy Vegas stories in it. It's available anywhere. It's available Audible, Amazon, all that shit. Or you can reach out to me and hit me with on the Venmo or PayPal or Cash App, and I will send you an autographed copy and a bunch of stickers and a personal note from me. A lot of people want the autograph. It doesn't make it worth any more or anything, but it's cool to get these stickers. You get 5 really cool stickers from my podcast and stuff, and then I write a personal note, and it's autographed. So if you want it, you can reach out to through any social media, or if you want to just order it on Amazon, or if you want to hear me tell the story, which is kind of cool, it's on Audible, where I read the whole book. I was
going to ask that if you got to, like, how long did it take you to read the whole book?
Oh, 2 days. The hardest shit I've ever done. 2 9-hour days. I had 2 women help me produce it that were just friends. And the night before, the first day, they're like, you need to go home and rest. I was like, for what? It's my book. I wrote the shit. And it was the hardest shit in the world, man. I'd mess up like my own name, like Brandt Tobler. I'd say Brandt Tobler. It was just so frustrating because I know how to read, but I wrote the shit. So it's just stop, start, stop, start. I did 2 9-hour days. I think I finished both days like around 8 o'clock, and I was home by like 8:20, and I was asleep by 8:35. Just exhausting. You wouldn't think it's exhausting. It's just mentally. It was one of the hardest days I've ever had, and especially because I just didn't think it would be hard. I thought I was like Jay-Z. I was like, I'll read this shit one take and we'll be out of here. And they'd been in the business, so they just laughed at how stupid and arrogant I was. But I think it's cool because I think it's definitely cooler that I read it. And I always tell people, if you write a book, read your own book, because I think it just comes to life a little more. So,
and people want to hear you read it more than like just some random guy or lady.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I wrote the book, and I would go through a lot of hardships in the book with my dad beating up my mom. A lot of bad stuff happened to me early in my childhood, and writing the book, it never bothered me. But then when I personally read the book, something about, I guess, just reading it, I just started bawling a couple times. It caught me out of nowhere. I didn't know it was coming because I'd read the book and proofread it and edited it. And so it was something weird about actually saying it into a microphone that I was like, oh my God, my poor mom, my dad's the worst. So it's crazy. It's a cool experience. I'm really glad I did it. So I would recommend, if I wrote a book, anybody can write a book. I'm an idiot. And then
I don't read
write your book.
Really. And I read your book, so it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. And there's not a lot of big words, so like you can comprehend it pretty well.
It's a quick read. Most people read it in one day and they love it, which is cool because, the word compliment I got in the beginning a lot was, man, I just bought your book because I love you, but it's actually really good. I'm like, hey,
I didn't expect to, but I did.
Yeah, I mean, it's on Amazon. It's got like 130 reviews, and like 129 are 5-star, and then one dumb bitch in Michigan gave it a 3-star. Like, it's like, did you read the book? I'll come kill you. But no, it's I'm very proud of it. If you're looking for a good book, I'm really, really proud of it. I worked my ass off on it, so go check it out.
If you want to go on Amazon and just somehow review it 5 stars,
yeah. Even if you don't want to read it, just
let them know the Gravy Gang did it. That'd be tight too.
Yeah, that'd be real tight. Gravy Gang, do it up.
All right, let's move on to our next question. This was an emailed in one from Kelly Cannon. We've
Kelly.
got 2A, Cannon or Cannon, one of the two. But Kelly says, are being ashamed and being embarrassed the same thing?
No, not for me. I mean, I'm ashamed. Ashamed is
Like an act. Ashamed is like of an act or something, right?
Yeah.
And being embarrassed is just like I feel awkward, right?
yeah. I'm embarrassed when I shit my pants, but I'm not ashamed. Like I'm ashamed when I guess I'm a little ashamed, but no, to me they're different. Like
I was ashamed when I shit my pants.
Yeah,
I was at
I do
Minute Maid
embarrassing
Park and had to
stuff.
hide it.
Yeah, see, well, I guess that's true. I don't know. I'm embarrassed a lot, but I'm rarely ashamed because I think for me to be ashamed, then it's more of a conscious decision. I'm ashamed of the decision I made. Where I'm embarrassed, kind of fluky sometimes. Just random shit happens that I'm embarrassed about.
You can
But
be
I'm never,
both.
I'm not ashamed of something that I can't. Like ashamed is stuff I can control. That I'm embarrassed that I did. Where I just get embarrassed by a lot of shit I can't control.
Ashamed is every like old like when Facebook has your memories come up, and like when I was quoting song lyrics in like college, I'm like, why did I? Yeah. Why did I think these Cold War kids lyrics meant anything to anybody?
They were for you. They wrote those for you.
I delete those like daily. I'm just like, nope,
Yeah.
nope. That's stupid. But it is funny with those where you see like old games where I'm like talking shit about like the Red Wings were in the Stanley Cup like however many years ago, and like I was talking about that shit, and I was like, oh, I remember when they were good.
Yeah, those Facebook memories aren't. Well, occasionally I catch something I really remember, but most of the time I'm like, what's wrong? What was I going through at that time?
Yeah, that is really what I say a lot of times.
So much pouty, like passive aggressive shit. Like, God, you're such a pussy. Like
somebody was going through a breakup. Good thing you quoted all this shit.
I'm writing these awful statuses and hope that
like I'm inspiring anyone.
So dumb, but live and learn. They're embarrassing, and I'm ashamed of some of them.
So yeah, they are different, but I guess you can be both at the same time.
Yeah. I'm ashamed of a few of them. I'm embarrassed by pretty much all of them.
Yeah. Okay, our next one is from Nicholas in Iowa, who I don't know if it's Nicholas in Iowa or Nicholas in Iowa. It's all one word together, so I would assume it's his last name. This is a new controversy we have on Pass the Gravy. He's not let me know whether or not I'm right. I think he's just liking to watch me sweat it out. But Nicholas in Iowa says, is the Dyson the Elon Musk of home appliances? Dyson ball.
What's the Dyson vacuum?
Like the ball vacuum? Yeah.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I had to vacuum for the first time in a long time when I was helping my buddy.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend that does that.
Oh, we have hardwood. That did come off aggressive. We have hardwood floors. Actually, you know what? I do vacuum, I guess, the podcast studio. I don't know. I mean,
hardwood floors or fake hardwood floors, motherfucker.
Hardwood floors.
I guess you're in Colorado. It gets way colder down there.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to actually worry about that shit.
I don't know. I mean, all vacuums are the same to me. I don't know. Is the Dyson better? I've never
Dyson ball. It is that one with the fucking ball on it. So it's like, ooh, I can go left and right, and I can make crazy turns. And my agility drill or my 3-cone drill is probably way faster than a regular vacuum.
Yeah, so it's probably like a Tesla. Like I've never had a Tesla, so I don't realize how cool they are. So I'm just like, whatever, it's a Tesla. But then if I had one, I'd be like, it's a fucking Tesla.
Every time you see one, they're kind of like, fucking, that's a Tesla. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's grown on. I would like to try one, but I just don't know. I've never had the luxury of spending a lot of money on a vacuum cleaner. It's always been hand-me-down, so no one's ever given me a Dyson hand-me-down. So it is the Elon Musk to me because it's unattainable. It's like for rich people.
And it's like weird. It's like where the Tesla came out and it's like, oh, look, we don't need gas. Ooh, look, we do this. You can put this code in and it dances. And it's like, we're a ball, but we also clean your floor. Like, I'd say it's definitely the Elon Musk of vacuum.
Yeah, I agree. I hope one day I can answer that. I hope one day to have something, one of the two, a Tesla or a vacuum.
Maybe all have Teslas and vacuums. Maybe Tesla vacuums one day.
Let's tell President to send those out. That'll cheer me up.
Did you watch the fucking space launch? Speaking of Elon
Yeah.
Musk? Dude,
One of our
how
friends,
nuts was that?
It was awesome. One of our friends helped build it, so it was really cool. It's my girlfriend's friend. I met him. His name's Aaron. I met him just this last summer at a wedding, and he told me he was working on it back then, and he told me he worked for Elon Musk, and I asked him all these questions, and so it was a little extra special that we sent him a cake and some flowers to congratulate him, and then on that Wednesday we were excited to watch it, and then to actually watch it, it was really cool, and it was he just became my friend, but he's been my girlfriend's friend for a long time, so I was like proud of him by default. I just thought it was really cool. So yeah, we watched it, and it was really cool to see somebody's hard work happen.
Dude, it's nuts. And like yesterday, I got stuck. I'm sorry, I got so sidetracked. But like this whole SpaceX thing, it blew my mind. Like we had a flyby for like coronavirus and like honoring first responders, and like not to like be insensitive, but I was just like, I don't understand the big deal about like planes flying over. Like that's cool. Like, and like I was just being a hater. I was being a hater because a lot of other people were like, oh, it brought tears to my eyes. I was excited. And I was like, that's cool. It's just not my thing, I guess. And I was like, I don't give a fuck about the space launch we've watched shit there. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. It's a rocket and they're in space now and I can see it. And then yesterday they had that video of the rocket and they had the camera on the rocket from when it detaches from the pod. And it's like in space above the earth and it falls back down and then lands. And it's just from the angle of the fucking rocket. And I watched the GIF of it like 1,000 times, just like, how does it land upright? Like how, like somebody found out how to be like, no. It's not just going to fall into the sea and go away or just float around in space forever. We're not going to use it. It's going to land on a pad and then we're going to use it the next time we have this. Like that blows my mind that somebody was able to like I know technology exists, but like the fact that we can figure that out is nuts.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't believe how many people that were there in person and said it like brought them to tears. So now it's on my bucket list as something to do. They said it's to actually be there and see it live is like super emotional. And I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. I got to go check one out.
It made the most, like I watched like the pre-launch show, I guess. They didn't have Terry Bradshaw or Michael Strahan on it, but it was okay. But they kept showing, they were like, well, if we want to travel in space, then like they were talking about how the old rockets, you had all that detached shit that like, it was like you built it for one-time use and we were wasting millions upon millions of dollars every time. If we want to travel, that would be like just throwing away an airplane every time it flew from New York to LA. And I was like, oh, that does make sense. I guess, yeah. Fuck. And like Elon's just other level shit. But he's like, I just like, how awesome would it be to be that rich and be like, you know, it'd be cool to build a fucking underground tunnel in California that we can turn into a way to get rid of traffic. And he's like, you know what? Let's just throw money at it. Let's figure it out. What if we could shoot spaceships up? Like, let's do that. Here, it's money. Figure it out.
All the shit I dreamed as a kid, he's trying to make happen. It's pretty cool.
I just know, like, every time it's like, it's got to be that. It's got to be easy. It's like, no, it's not. He's way smarter than me, and I'm never going to be that way. And I wouldn't even know what to do. I don't know anything about rockets. I don't know any of that shit.
I'm with you, man. I dropped out of junior college. I don't know shit.
So yeah, Dyson is the Elon Musk of home appliances.
Dyson it is.
Sorry we got so off topic.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We were actually on topic, but
you were right.
Topic by being on topic because we were talking Elon. All right, we got one last one, and this is from Lindsay Everett. Emails in and says, "Onions, just eye laxatives."
Yeah, for me, I'm not an onion guy at all. Huh?
Like any kind of onions?
I mean, I like them if they're like really chopped up and they're like in some like. My girlfriend
on a burger,
will hide.
You're not gonna throw any onions on there?
No. My girlfriend will hide like onions in food, and then I don't mind them. But like just onions on a burger, never liked. I don't like vegetables. I'm like a little kid. That's why I have the worst body ever. But I just don't. I don't mess with onions. My girlfriend will hide them, then I don't mind them. Or I like onions on like a supreme pizza for some reason. I could eat them, so I can have onions if they're with a lot of other stuff. But just like I would never. I don't think I've ever put onions on my burger. But I blame onions for making me cry a lot because I'm a crier. I cry pretty easy. So it's always good to have onions around. I can blame them if I'm watching The Office or something.
Shows chopping up onions.
Yeah, damn onions got me again with Pam and Jim.
Dude, how many times do you think you've watched it all the way through?
This pandemic, probably 50. That's our go-to. We just
That's
throw
mine
it
too.
on. I just love it. Well, as long as Michael Scott's there. I mean, once he's gone,
Dude, I'm not gonna accept that, man. I mean, it's nowhere near as good when Michael's gone, but it's a fucking one of the best finales ever.
well, yeah, but he's
One of the
back.
greatest
He
finales.
just has to be.
But like the wind down, those last 5 episodes in that final season, I think
Yeah.
Robert California got a lot of hate that was unnecessary. Will Ferrell was funny to me. That juggling scene with Will Ferrell, one of my favorite scenes in the whole show because it was so fucking outrageous. Like that was like, I don't know. I think it gets a lot of unnecessary hate.
No, it's
Do you skip
real
Scott's
hate.
Tots? Do you skip Scott's Tots?
That one's hard to watch, but I still watch it.
Okay. All right. You're a real one. Because
but Will,
like, I'm a diehard. I'm like, if you skip Scott's Tots, fuck off. You're not really.
somehow they made Will Ferrell unfunny, which is impossible.
I thought he was funny. See,
I think
know.
I just love Michael Scott so much, and Robert California was crap, and I mean they just
so
set the bar
weird. It was so
high.
different. I thought
Yeah.
Andy was the worst out of it because they just tried to make Andy Michael, and then he
Yeah.
had to do the Hangover, so then he had to like go on a boat trip and was gone for the whole show.
Yeah. Then he came back from that, and then I don't know. I mean, I'll watch them all. I just the key if Michael's. I struggle, which is crazy because I love Will Ferrell, but I really struggle with the Will Ferrell ones. I just need Michael. He makes me so happy. I mean,
Your
seeing that
favorite
sticker behind you just make like Prison Mike is my favorite.
The Dementors.
Just I could watch that. I mean, there's so many episodes I could just watch over and over and over and over, and I have, and we still do. Like it's kind of what me and my girlfriend bonded on in the beginning is both our love for Office. And we would just watch Office every day, and we still do. It's crazy.
We watched The Office all the way through 17 times 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
So we skip
and I mean
around.
that counts having it on while like you're fucking around on your phone.
Yeah.
Maybe you're doing other shit, you're washing dishes or whatever, but it's on in the background. The Office is like all time like the GOAT of just background noise shows.
Yeah. We're the same. It's I don't know how many times, but it's always on. Or when we can't find anything, I'll just be like, here, find something, and then we'll look.
Spend 4 hours on Netflix and just go right back to The Office.
Yeah. There's nothing else.
Did you watch Space Force?
I did not.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm on the last episode now, but like written by Greg Daniels and Steve, and so like you just don't go in expecting it to be The Office because it's not. But once you have that figured out, then it is funny, and like there's a lot of shit that is Office humory.
All right.
But you do want to say that's what she said about 100,000 times in it.
All right. I'm gonna check it out.
It's got everybody in it too, so that's pretty tight. Lisa Kudrow, right? Phoebe, she's his wife in it, which is pretty tight.
I'm a fan.
It's got
Whenever if I see Will Ferrell, I'm just like,
No, God! No, God, please!
I love it. That might be my favorite episode. I can't even start to think about my favorite episode, but man, I love that part.
The best episode was Stress Relief. The one where Dwight starts the fire.
That's a good one too.
That's my favorite one.
The internet says the dinner party, but I mean that's a good one.
The dinner party is one of the most like I think Scott's Tots gets a lot of talk about being like the cringiest one. The dinner party, and then Michael breaking up with Pam's mom at her birthday lunch. Like those are like all on the same level of like awkwardness. I would say the dinner party is more awkward than Scott's Tots.
I try to think of my
just because you know what's gonna happen.
Prison Mike is so good, but one of my favorites is when Andy gets so mad about his phone ringing and he punches that wall. I mean, that makes me laugh so fucking hard. And then Jim just like, I was like, oh, I now got to go watch it.
I know. That's all. I'll let you go. I'll let you go do that. Brandt Tobler, guys, at Brandt Tobler on Twitter. BrandtTobler.com. Get his book, Free Roll, or just follow him, DM him, slide in those DMs. Like, hey, write me a poem and Venmo him. Hit him up in the Venmo, and then he'll hook you up with a book. It is a great book. You're not going to want to put it down. Check out Stand Up Explained. I promise you, if you are a comedy fan in any capacity, you're gonna burn. Like it's like where you're watching The Office and you just don't realize you've like gone through. Like I thought I had finished 3 episodes. I'm 5 episodes in, but like it's just you burn through them and they're good. And like him and Andrew are just fucking funny as shit. So like go check it out. Stand Up Explained, and then the 31 with Brandt Tobler. That's go subscribe to both of those. Yeah. Give them that 5-star review along with Pass the Gravy. And then just let them know that you heard about them on Pass the Gravy. And then if you're on ours, just fucking roast us in the comments. And that's what you do.
Perfect.
Give us the 5-star review. Thanks again for coming on, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me 3 times as a charm. We got to do it again.
Dude, for sure, man. For sure. Like, really, you are like my favorite guest because you just fucking, you're cool to talk about whatever the fuck you want. You have the best stories in the entire world, and it's good to talk to you again, man. So when you get the fucking H-Town, we're gonna.
I appreciate it, and if you get out here, I'll get down there, and then anytime you need me, just let me know. Well, I'd love to hop on and do this anytime.
All right, for sure, man. Stay safe. Until I talk to you guys next time. Pass the gravy, bitches.
Boy,